Welcome back to Top Cut for our tournament. Our cup closing out regulation F. Dennis Geisler, Lucy Parker here with you. And we have a rematch on stream. Not a rematch that we saw, but a rematch of round number 5 for both of these players. And two players who we saw earlier today, Abhyu Vstsavai and Michael Wagner. Abhyu running the Fur Giraffe, Incineroar, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Whimsicott, Ursaluna, Bloodmoon, and Fluttermane. Michael with the King Gambit, the Regidrago, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Whimsicott, and that Zoroark. The Hisuian Zoroark, in fact. We saw both these two lose on stream earlier, but they've just played in the Is Abhyu looking at us? I'm
think
scared.
he is.
I'm scared. Abhyu's looking at me.
It's amazing.
I'm afraid.
He's staring right into our souls.
I'm staring right back at him. Like, I want him to know. When he reviews this later, inevitably, I want him to know I'm staring right back at him. Like, he knows...
Abhyu, you can't be disappointed and upset with us for making you play on stream again. You made Top Cut.
Yeah, just if you don't want to be on stream, just like lose a lot. It's really easy.
No, that's not true. I once was on stream at 04.
That's true. Lose a lot and you run really boring teams. Anyways, game 1. This is Top Cut. We have top 8, so this is the quarterfinals. Whimsicott Urshifu on Michael's side, and on Abhyu's side is the Whimsicott Fluttermane. This is actually not a Terra Steel Urshifu, but it is a Terra Fire, so still resistant to the Fairy-type moves.
It could also be a Zoroark.
It could also be Zoroark. You can never write out the possibility... I dropped my water bottle.
No!
You can never write off the possibility that it's Zoroark.
Same thing with the Whimsicott.
I guess the Whimsicott.
Honestly, I think
the thing is, if you're running the Zoroark, why do I keep dropping this water bottle? If you're running the Zoroark, you probably want the Whims out there for the Tailwind.
Oh
to get
yeah,
your
but like
Zoroark actual pressure.
Yeah, and there's no like threat of a fake out to like misdirect.
Here's the Terra from Abhyu.
Yep.
It is the Terra Fairy Fluttermane. And the Terra on Michael's side as well.
What is this?
Ideally for him, it's fire here. Okay, so that is actually Urshifu.
Yep.
Unless it's somehow a Rillaboom in disguise, which doesn't feel likely, but I'm not going to completely write off the idea.
Urshifu confirmed real.
Michael's Whimsicott moves first.
Sunny Day.
But Abhyu's just goes for the Sunny Day, so that does mean that Michael's has the opportunity to attack here, or Michael's Urshifu has the opportunity to attack here, especially because it's a
reduced damage
special attack. It's not going to KO.
Yeah, I don't think it's KO.
It's not going to KO, but it's going to get kind of close. And it puts Fluttermane in a kind of awkward spot, especially knowing the tail,
But this is a Specs boosted, Terra boosted, Proto boosted.
It's not going to KO.
No.
It'll bring Whimsicott down to Sash, and it'll do a solid chunk to Ursh, but it's not going to KO.
Yeah.
Well, the thing here is that
I missed the Proto.
It could come down to a Whimsicott speed tie here, because Whimsicott really needs, on Abhyu's side, really needs to get the Tailwind off.
Unfortunately.
On Michael's side, it can Encore, and it will be faster, because it already has the Tailwind.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, and so I was able to think about it before finishing the point.
You're welcome.
So Fluttermane does have to switch out because of that. Thankfully, the Sunny Day is still active, thankfully for Abhyu. Because that does mean that the Urshifu is just going to be doing a lot less damage.
Why does Ogerpon look like it's like farther back than the rest of the Pokemon on the field?
It's always like that, and it's a thing to do with the way that the mask works. Because the mask ends up in front of it, and so Ogerpon does just kind of stand back there.
Okay, it's just a giant...
Once you notice it, when it does it, like, a decent amount of the time, you will never unnotice it.
Yeah. Because
Ogerpon does just kind of...
big empty space.
It does just kind of stand a step back from everyone else. It's very strange.
Okay, but now I know why, so...
it did not actually take a lot of damage against Surging Strikes there.
A little under half.
Yeah.
About.
So you gotta feel pretty happy with it if you are Abhyu here, getting through this sequence of turns. We'll see here with Incineroar the Sociable hitting the field.
He's not that
Surging
scary.
Strikes into the Incineroar would be pretty nice for Michael.
Yeah. I think with the Sun, though.
Ooh, we'll see the Helping Hand, actually. This could be a KO on the
huge.
Ogerpon with the Surging Strikes. It should be
Yeah.
a KO, yeah.
That would be
Eventually.
nice if it doesn't.
Yeah. That's one of the weird things about Surging Strikes, is because the way it crits 3 times means that the damage is pretty stable, all things considered.
Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes you get some.
you can get some pretty
numbers.
wild things, like one way or the other, but like usually it's more stable than what you would necessarily think.
Oh, I got a
from lot of
second
these
opportunity for. What booster is?
It's special attack.
Okay.
I definitely noticed it the first time that it was special attack. The problem is, so you do have fake out pressure from the Incineroar here, but you don't have much else because Tailwind is still active.
Yeah.
So even if you
Flutter
get
probably
like
does
a
enough to pick up the. Or not the Flutter, the. Whimsicott probably has enough.
yeah, I'm
pick
sure
up
either one of
the
these
Flutter.
two can KO the Flutter. So I guess it's kind of interesting the Flutter was the one who came in here, because at this point we're getting to a point where, like, I don't know if Abhyu has the Pokemon to win in the late game here. It's gonna be pretty awkward. Because, yeah, the Moonblast comes through, onto the Flutter, gets the KO. And we'll see what the Ursh goes for here. Probably Surging Strikes, if I had to guess, doing 5 damage. 13 damage, pretty close.
Yeah.
It was because of the crit.
Yeah, I don't understand why I crit so much of it. What's wrong?
Yeah.
Game broke.
The game's kind of broken. We will see the Tailwind peter out. The sun will set in another turn.
But now it is.
But the Fake Out is back available again. Thing is, Ursh doesn't get KO'd by Moonblast here, I don't think.
No. I don't think it gets KO'd by anything, really.
Like, and it probably drops to knockoff, I would imagine. But other than that, it probably gets a Surging Strikes off pretty comfortably. And that's aside from the fact that if Whims is allowed to do anything, it can get a Tailwind up and support the rest of the battle here. There could be an opportunity depending on how the rest of this turn goes, but Whimsicott's going to switch out probably into that. Ooh, it's the Regidrago, actually. That's kind of surprising.
Interesting.
Maybe Michael just saying, yeah, I actually don't really need this Regidrago to do much to win this game. Moonblast goes into the Ursh, does not pick up the KO, as we had kind of anticipated.
Yeah.
Drops the special attack, very meaningful. But the Surging Strike's going into the Incineroar, not going to KO, but going to do a pretty hefty chunk
Yeah.
into that guy. And Incineroar on very low HP, and the sun is now
Gone.
deactivated.
So now it really is up to.
Yeah, now it's a
It's
question
still
of
like-
how do I, how does Abhyu target here to try to keep both these Pokemon standing while also taking out one of Michael's Pokemon, while also setting up to take out the Pokemon in the back.
Yeah.
The answer might just be there is no way to do it, and this game is a little cooked. Moonblast does pick up the KO into the Urshifu, finally, after taking like 8 Fairy-type moves. That Terra-Fire, kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah.
Also prevents it from getting burned, which can be pretty
Earth
nice.
Power.
Earth Power into the Incineroar, not... yeah, I guess.
it's fine.
Yeah, why not? It gets the Incineroar out of the way.
You have something. Probably have something else in the back to deal with Whimsicott, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Whimsicott in the back, and presumably the Rillaboom, if our information is correct.
Yeah.
We'll see what the choice is for Michael. Either way, I think he's in a very good spot to win this. The problem mostly being that, like, it's not like Whimsicott can do anything to you. Like, even if Regidrago will take a pretty solid chunk from Moonblast, but also, how much does Regidrago care about that, and how much does Michael care about that? We'll see if Moonblast actually even KOs.
No.
It does not.
But does it get a special attack drop? No, it does not.
No, it doesn't. Earth Power comes through.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
nothing.
It does basically nothing, but like every little bit counts at this HP bar, and
Yeah.
there's the Wood Hammer is going to be enough. So Michael Wagner with the round, the Game 1 victory
Yes.
for our quarterfinal round. A lot of it just came from that Whimsicott Urshifu lead with the Terra Fire Urshifu. Which just took more hits than I think Abhyu is really banking on, and did more damage with Surging Strikes than I think Abhyu is banking on.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, even in the sun, and so I wonder if Abhyu is going to want to switch that up a little bit and say, okay, yeah, the Flutter Mane can't really do it in that way. I'm going to need something else to really cover the difference here.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. You kind of cover everything really well there.
So yeah, I like this lead honestly from Abhyu because I think you can definitely say, okay, yeah, the first two Pokemon aren't actually going to do anything here. I do think you really want to make sure you have one of those fairy types though, because otherwise you can't just get rolled by Regidrago in the back.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what you want to run as that. I don't know, it's going to be kind of awkward. But I kind of like this idea from Abhyu. I think it's a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
I assume... I think with the way the seeding worked, Michael had to have won the round 5 matchup between the two. I guess I didn't actually ask who had won that.
Yeah.
I was told by Michael that they did play. I didn't actually hear who won.
Yeah,
it's not important. This is the important matchup. This is the one in cut.
No, it's fun, because then we get to find out afterwards from whoever loses and yells at us.
So, it is the Incin and Farigiraf lead for Abhyu. Same lead for Michael.
It could be a Zoroark.
It could be Zoroark also.
It could be Zoroark.
He's thinking hard about it. Yeah, I think this is probably the play. I think you really need to get Trick Room shot. And I think, honestly, if you can get Incineroar off the field, it's pretty good, honestly, for
just like a Trick Room parting shot, or...
So we'll see the Terra here. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There he is. The Zoroark. It's Helping Hand boosted. It's Terra Stellar Helping Hand boosted
With
Hyper Voice from Urshifu.
That's totally normal.
Oh my goodness. It does not KO the Farigiraf. And the knockoff gets the Urshifu. I mean, the Hisuian Zoroark. There he is.
Huh?
He tricked you, and now he will perish.
Wait, you mean Wagner didn't always have Stellar Hyper Voice?
Yeah, Terra Stellar Hyper Voice on Urshifu that did like a ton of damage.
Even though we had just seen Terra Fire.
So that was really funny. Honestly, it would have been an incredible genius play if it had KO'd the Farigiraf. The fact that it didn't makes it kind of concerning now for Michael.
I really need to see the math on that, because that was... I think that might have come down to just
it could have been a roll. It was really close. And now Michael definitely having to consider, okay, what am I actually doing here? Because that did a really big chunk of damage.
Yeah.
The problem is you really needed at least one KO there.
Could be a Zoroark.
This is almost certainly not a Zoroark.
You never know.
I guess you never know. Terra's also burned for Michael already, which is not ideal.
Yeah, that's really nice.
On the other hand, you can be pretty confident that you can get both these KOs here. Barring, well, even with Protect, you probably pick up. I think the only downside would be, the Flare Blitz plus the Hyper Voice.
Do we get a burn? Do we get to see burn?
I don't think it matters, because
it doesn't.
The Throat Spray guy is going to Hyper Voice regardless.
It doesn't matter,
it's just a question of, there's Hyper Voice. How much does that do to Urshifu? Like a lot. Kind of a lot, actually.
Depends on what happens now.
Ideally, I don't know. You've got to get rid of the Fridge, I think. You just need to be able to use priority moves.
And fake out.
Yeah. Oh. Well, Rillaboom time. It's time for Rillaboom to save the game, I guess.
I don't know.
Because
not when
it's gonna be awkward. Because I think you can just Terra normal Hyper Voice plus other Hyper Voice, and what's gonna happen to you?
And then double Hyper Voice.
It's so funny that Abhyu called the what's it called?
The Zoroark.
The Zoroark.
Yeah. I think it's funnier that the Zoroark finally shows up. Finally, Stellar Terra's.
It almost
gets the helping hand boost, but doesn't.
Yeah, it was almost
doesn't
super cool, and then it wasn't. The bear will Terra normal now. And I believe we will. I think this is probably going to be the last turn. Oh, never mind. Urshifu is preventing it from being the last turn. So we'll see the Hyper Voice. How much does this do to Rilla? A pretty good amount. I think Rilla might drop to Blood Moon here. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's going to be enough to KO. And so that...
It might be a roll.
It was a lot of damage.
I think Rillaboom can tank that.
Yeah, maybe Rillaboom can actually tank that.
He can hang on with the power of friendship.
Pretty bulky monkey. Chunky monkey.
And we get a little bit of heals back from the terrain.
I think that's the end of this game.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Yep. Michael's going to forfeit, and I like the call from Michael. And again, it was really close to working. It was the funny thing, because if it had taken out the Farigiraf,
I am really
even if you
about the map on that.
Because even when you get knockoffed and lose the
there's no
Zoroark, there's no Trick Room,
there's no Armor Tail,
so you can just kind of bring in, and that means Whimsicott's in a pretty safe spot, so you can bring in like the Urshifu at that point and just start clicking
or even
Tailwind Surging Strikes, and probably just clean up the rest of the battle. So I wonder if Michael says, okay, that one didn't work because XYZ, I have to try this differently. Farigiraf is Terra Fairy, which makes Regidrago a really annoying bring.
Yeah.
I wonder if you bring King Gambit. Like, I'm trying to think of what you do with this.
For the slow mode, but
honestly, Zoroark's not a terrible bring.
It really isn't.
Because if you go for like the Helping Hand Terra Blast just straight into the Farigiraf, that definitely KOs. Like, it has to be Terra Stellar, I think, also, but if you just go for it, it definitely KOs. And then you prevent the Trick Room. You don't do damage to Ensign, but maybe you say, okay, I have enough damage to Ensign with the Surging Strikes later.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then, like, you can always just hide. If you somehow manage to survive to the next turn with Zoroark, then you can just Hyper Voice and do a bunch of damage to everybody, to Incineroar, as we saw.
Yeah, exactly.
And so whatever else comes in on the Farigiraf slot.
Oh, this is so difficult. I'm glad that in both of our games so far we've had Michael as the other view, so that we've also been able to guess about Zoroark, because one of these two could be Zoroark. We're going to see a lot of switch-ups, actually, from both the players, and I think Abhyu got the better end of it by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because King Gambit's not really going to do much to Ogerpon. That Hearthflame is really, really good right now.
Yeah, the Hearthflame is a really, really good adaptation.
So I'm curious what the choice will be, because the Ogerpon is fast. You could just Terra it and just start hitting things.
Yeah, just start doing damage.
I kind of don't hate that. Just go for the King Gambit. We will see the Terra from Michael immediately.
I'm gonna guess it's the Rillaboom.
I think it's... Ooh, it is the Rillaboom. Okay.
And then maybe Protect from the King Gambit?
It might be a Protect from the King Gambit, but in that case I don't know what I don't know what Michael's doing.
Damage, I think.
Damage, I think. But like, what damage is the Rillaboom doing? Yeah, the King Gambit protects. I guess the question is, what is the Rillaboom going to do?
Maybe U-turn?
Oh wait, no, am I looking at this? Does this one have the U-turn?
Oh no, this isn't. This is the high horsepower one.
Wood hammers into the Giraffe.
Okay, that's what the damage he was trying to do.
So Terra is used, and not to accomplish a whole lot. Oh, this is such a good play. This is such a good play, and I like it so much.
Ooh,
that's a really good play, and I like it a lot. I'm so excited. It could go horribly wrong, but
I really
hope this works. because it's a really
This
cool
is
play.
either the most amazing thing ever or the funniest thing.
There's not a ton of downside to this play, I think. Okay, so Ferdraff is going to switch out. We've been alluding to the play.
Yeah.
Incineroar switches in, which intimidates both the targets. It's a good intimidate on the Rillaboom. It's a really dangerous intimidate on the Kingambit, because now it gets the +1. Which isn't like an insane amount of attack, I'll say. But now, okay, Kingambit will just switch out. So that was always like, I think the most likely answer is just
here comes
Kingambit switches out, nobody cares.
That's fair. I was hoping for Sucker Punch shenanigans.
Because now the Ogerpon will Terastallize. Getting that +1 attack, and yes, like that's why it stands so far back.
Yeah.
Because the mask covering
There's just a big empty space for the mask model.
The Cudgel will bring Whimsicott down to its Focus Sash with a crit. We keep seeing crits on Sashes. That will always bring down to Sash anyway. Very strange. Rillaboom Woodhammer does very little into the Incin.
Not a whole lot of damage.
And this is a really nice spot for Abhyu once again. Because now you can say, okay, I can fake out the Whimsicott for a KO. Prevent the Tailwind from going up.
And then just do a little bit of chip into the Rillaboom or swap out into...
Or even just attack in that order. And maybe even calling that play and saying, okay, I'm going to do something else.
Yeah.
I believe that Abhyu knows what he's doing. And Whimsicott switches out. What a good call for Abhyu.
Urshifu.
There's Urshifu coming in. And Ogerpon goes for the Cudgel into that slot. Which is better damage than Fake Out would have been. Like that's a 2-hit KO.
That's high horsepower.
But it's at -1. And Incineroar going for the knockoff into the Rillaboom, getting rid of the Assault Vest. Oh man, and now do you think that like does Aqua Jet KO Ogerpon from this range? Because like I don't know. It might.
So then you can just swap in Farigiraf. And
that's the thing, you could swap in Farigiraf and get rid of the Urshifu. Because Abhyu's just making so much progress so quickly in this battle. Especially getting rid of items can be really useful for later on in the battle. Like, now that the Assault Vest is out of the way, Hyper Voice might legitimately take out Rillaboom at this range. From the Blood Moon, certainly, and maybe from the Ferdraff as well. No switch for the Ogerpon. Just went for the Woodhammer into that slot, just saying, I want this bear out of here. Another high horsepower. Oh, it gets the KO.
Ooh,
that was really close, actually. Some of it came down to recovery, but getting rid of the Ogerpon, pretty substantial for Michael, actually.
Yeah, that's huge.
The U-turn now will allow the Incin to come back in.
Probably going in.
the most important thing Incin can do, leave. And it is Ferdraff coming in here.
Oh, it's the chosen one.
The chosen one. Ferdraff is kind of the chosen one. So yeah, now you can bring Incin back in, and now you have Fake Out Trick Room or Fake Out Hyper Voice available to you.
Yeah.
And either one of those is going to be really valuable.
Fake Out Hyper Voice probably into the...
I think Fake Out... Ooh, I like Trick Room though.
I mean, yeah.
Trick Room is going to be really valuable. Especially because I think ultimately Michael is going to have to play kind of defensively this turn in preparation for a Fake Out Hyper Voice. And so it is Whimsicott coming in. Fake out onto the Urshifu. And yeah, that's a perfect turn for Abhyu.
Yeah.
Just a completely perfect turn for Abhyu, really. Because now you can just start clicking Hyper Voice. And I don't really see anything to be done about it. Grassy Terrain disappears. So Rillaboom will bring it back later, I guess, but...
Yeah, but...
Like, Hyper Voice is going to get both these KOs right now, I'm almost certain.
Probably, yeah.
If it doesn't pick up Urshifu, the Incineroar will as well, but I'm pretty sure it just will. Now Michael's got to say, okay, what do I do here?
What can I do here?
I've got a lot of priority on this team, and there is a giraffe over there. We're seeing the true value of the giraffe. And Incineroar actually moves ahead of for a giraffe, which is kind of interesting. I know that's not necessarily always the case, but the Hyper Voice comes through, picks up both KOs, and now it is just the Rillaboom and the King Gambit in the back. And it's not like they can do a whole lot about this. I guess if King Gambit's slower than Farigiraf, it's something could be possible.
Slower than Incineroar.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make sure Rillaboom's still around, I think. Like, you want to have at least... You probably want to have...
The issue is, though, is that the King Gambit has no way to really touch Incineroar.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, King Gambit can't touch Incineroar, and so you kind of need Rillaboom to do that.
All three of its offensive options are resisted by Incineroar.
Yeah. And so you kind of need to have Rillaboom still around to do that, but... I think, Abhyu's pretty deftly managing, those likelihoods, especially saying, okay, yeah, the one thing that can stop me is King Gambit and being slower than for a giraffe and picking up a KO. So how about I just make sure that doesn't happen?
King Gambit protects.
But that's also what Michael was thinking. And did he think so correctly that he was able to
high horsepower
the Ensign? Yeah.
Hold. Bless you. Hold.
Ooh, there's the high horsepower into the Ensign. It does good damage. Good damage is what's kind of necessary right now. Maybe there's a route into this, especially because King Gambit won't take a ton of damage from Hyper Voice.
We'll take a lot from...
Probably will take a Flare Blitz. It won't be...
and it'll probably be enough damage that Ensign goes down.
Probably, yeah. King Gambit does move first, gets the Kowtow off into the first round, has a one-hit KO. Okay, with the crit. That crit might have been very important in deciding this set. The Ensign will go next with a Flare Blitz into the King Gambit. This needs to KO. It doesn't KO. Oh no! Incineroar does still drop, and now it comes down to Blood Moon.
Oh no!
How much? There's got to be plenty of Trick Room left, right? Like 2 turns. Enough Trick Room.
I believe so.
Second question: is Ursaluna slower than King Gambit? And then third question, can Ursaluna take a Grassy Glide plus a Sucker Punch? Or a Grassy Glide plus a Kowtow?
Yeah. I think it's better to just go Grassy Glide, no Sucker Punch. That's a lot of damage!
That's a lot of damage! And Kowtow goes next! And that'll be enough! Michael Wagner with the clutch crit from the King Gambit.
That crit was so huge.
Able to pick up the 2-1 victory. He will be progressing on to the semifinals.
Yeah.
What a game. What a set.
It'll be top 4, not...
The semifinals, yeah. It's top 4.
Oh, yeah. Nah. Sorry, I was thinking about
It's been a long day for all of us. We are going to take a very quick break, and we will be back in just a few minutes for round number semifinals for the top 4. Don't go anywhere.